to the family. Peace and black power. Peace and human power. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. As I say, assalamu alaikum, hotep, jambo, shalom, all the greetings of love and light. So family, thank you to everyone who's joined. I wanted to go over the latest events, the tragic events that have taken place, specifically the loss of Malikah Shabazz, the daughter of the late Malcolm X, and the twin of Malikah Shabazz, who is a very prominent, known activist. We haven't seen a lot of Malikah in the forefront as far as activism, but today we're going to look at what happened. We're going to first address that, and then we're going to take a little bit closer look at her life and her relationship with her siblings. So thank you so much for tuning in to the family, okay? Give me 1 second. Just give me a minute. Just gonna check and see if you all can hear me. I have so many tabs open that my system is lagging a bit, but just bear with me. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's having a beautiful week. I hope your friends and family are well. Okay, so just give me a moment. I can't even get back to my, here we go. All right, here I am. So peace to the family. I see everybody out there. H. Millette, Fitz, Cosmo Kid, Tahuti. I saw my sisters. I already said H. Millette, Clyde Diva, Cosmo, Rin L. Rated. And I saw Mr. X. Get your hand out of my pocket. Out my pocket. So make sure you go like this video, and if you haven't, please subscribe, share the video, but also make sure that if there are content creators in the chat, please go check their channels out, subscribe, and get to know who you were rubbing elbows with over here on my channel. So with all that said, first off, rest in power to the sister Malikah Shabazz. It seems to me, peace, Blue Devil. Oh, and also, by the way, I got to drop the link because I need some help on this. Anyone who has any information on this sister, anyone who could direct me to some interviews that we can play of her, because I'm having a hard time finding anything with just her speaking. There's a lot of information out there about her being arrested and her having feuds with her sister, which we'll go over some of that. But I haven't seen anything about, her and her activism, her sentiments about her father and his activism. So hit the link if you have information, if you want to join in, speculate. I'm going to be talking a little bit, not too much, about conspiracy, but I will touch on some things about that I can't ignore, like dates and numerology and things like that. Peace, truth for life. It's very interesting. You can look at numerology within the esoteric and double numbers. I'm not going into all of that, and because I don't want to be disrespectful and discount what has taken place in the tragedy of her loss. But I do want to point out some things that are very peculiar. Some esoteric numbers, and very peculiar how right away they're saying, oh, no foul play. They don't even know what happened to her. The first thing that's being said in the news is no foul play, no suspicious behavior. How do you know? They don't even know why she died. So how do you know it's not any foul play? So right there, that raises eyebrows, that raises our antenna or I should say all of our antennae, to say, come on, what are you doing here? Also, there are no coincidences. Very peculiar that this happened approximately 2 or 3 days after the 2 men who were accused of killing her father were exonerated. All right, we got that out of the way. So let's start with, I put my fair use post in the beginning because I'm going to be playing some news clips just to get some more information on this. So let's see. I want to start. Oh, also, family, there is a Daily Mail video I want to play, which is extremely peculiar to me because of the way they're handling the sister's passing. The way you'll see some undertones of mockery. This is done very often in these news stories when one of our activists or one of our powerful people, because I know what we're seeing in the news about her being, animal abuser, she swindled somebody, she did credit card fraud. All of that I take with a grain of salt. I'm not saying she didn't do those things, but I also know that she is the daughter of a revolutionary. So it's very interesting that we don't see anything about her or nothing. I can't find anything where she's speaking on an activist level. And I know she must have been, because all of his children are, that's the family. They have their own level of activism. They all love their father. They all respected their father's legacy. Every single one of them. So help me out, family. I'm going to drop the link, but I'm going to try to keep my flow going with the information. I think I already dropped it. Okay, so let me get the story, and I want you to look at this. I really want you, family, to look at this video. It's like a 4-minute video. The Daily Mail. Okay, I'm going to see if I can click out of that. She was 56. Now, see, this is a mess. Like, first they say she's, Daily Mail puts out something saying she committed suicide. Now they're putting out something saying she's been sick for a long time. None of this information was out on the internet. Okay, her daughter finds her in her home on the floor, unconscious, unresponsive, basically no pulse. And now they're saying, first thing they say is no foul play. Oh, it's not suspicious. Then they say, oh, we think it was suicide. Now they changed the title. Doesn't say suicide anymore. Just says found dead. And then they also say in the headline, she was sick for some time. Come on, like, what is going on here? We don't even know. We don't even know what happened to this woman. Hold on. I'm going to screen share. But yeah, this is the suspicious stuff. But I want to find the video, make sure I can play it for you. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Because there's some other stuff on here too, y'all. Let's get this slow computer. Come on. All right, well, guess I just have to wait. I might need to close some of this stuff. I'll close the fair use. I already used that. So, okay. Yeah, this is going to be good. Okay, just bear with me. I'll read the chat in a moment. The link is in there. Okay. Close that. Wow, so I'm not seeing that video anymore. Strange. Okay, let me go to the top. Yes, let's get this article, and let me just read this article. I gotta find that video. So let me screen share. Familia. Okay. Peace, Silent K. Said impossible. I know, right? So many different stories. Peace, Barn Dog. Source up or shut the fuck up. Napah, where's your source? I'm gonna hit the link. What are you talking about? You're gonna hit the link. You would have to hit the link and come in on another account, because I unfortunately have to block you. I would have loved to hear your information, but yeah, can you block that person? I'm not sure. I blocked from and not that I'm offended or anything. It's just I don't feel like playing right now, guys. Let's be respectful. Let's respect the memory of this sister who could possibly have been murdered, and honor her as well as her father, who's done so much for us that's invaluable that we could never pay back. Okay, just for now, and then you can get back to your fuckery after the stream. Okay, all right. So I'm sure there's a couple crappy channels out there that you could go do that on, but let's just be serious for a minute, okay, guys? All right, back to what I was saying. So let me go ahead and share the screen so we can read this article together, okay? Oh, right. Oh, Lord, this is so slow. Really? Wow, this is slow. All right, I hope you guys can see the article now. It's going to take forever for me to scroll down. Malcolm X's 56-year-old daughter, okay, 5, 6 is 11. So that is also, you got to, if you don't accept the numerology and the hidden esoteric numbers, that's okay. But for those who do connect in those ways, I'm going to throw that out there, okay? So Malcolm X's 56-year-old daughter had been sick for some time. Where is this coming from? Why are they throwing this out now? Why? They just said that she committed suicide on an article earlier. If y'all have been following this story, it's very fresh. So now she's been sick for some time. So what is it? Did she commit suicide? Or was she sick? They don't even know. They're just throwing like red herrings out. Just a second. Let me close my blinds because my balcony, just a second. People walking by, looking in. I don't like that. Okay. I just saw somebody looking. Okay, so Malcolm X's 56-year-old daughter had been, quote, sick for some time, unquote, with unspecified long-term illness before she was found dead at her Brooklyn apartment. Okay. For 4 days after 2 men were exonerated for her father's 1965 murder. So how many Black people do not have chronic illness, or any people in the United States? So why are they even mentioning that she had a chronic illness? They don't even know what it was. They don't even know what happened. The autopsy hasn't even been completed, but they want to throw us off. They, meaning the media and the powers that be, because this reeks of foul play. This is so slow, so bear with me. Malikah Shabazz, one of Malcolm X's 6 daughters, was found dead in her Midwood, Brooklyn home on Monday. NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea said Shabazz, quote, had been sick for some time, unquote, but did not disclose the commissioner did not disclose the illness. Let me just give you a little bit more information on the NYPD. I'm not bashing the police, but I'm just giving information. Let's not forget that there was a man of the NYPD who, on his deathbed, did a sign. I think he did an affidavit saying that he, excuse me, the NYPD and the FBI worked and orchestrated the assassination of Malcolm X. So we're going to throw that out there and take this information coming from NYPD with a grain of salt and with side eye, because someone has implicated the NYPD in the assassination of Malcolm X, and not just anybody, a longtime member, a longtime officer of the NYPD did this on his deathbed. Shabazz was found by her daughter. Police say that her death was not suspicious. Why do they say that when they don't even know why she died? Why does the NYPD say that her death was not suspicious when they don't even know what caused her death? Why would you say a prominent figure's revolutionary, legendary Black Power leader who was assassinated for his leadership, assassinated for his beliefs, and for his powerful influence, why would you say that anybody, especially his daughter who is linked to him, who has been feuding and there's been controversy between her and her siblings about his legacy, why would you say there's nothing suspicious? Because you want to mislead the people. You do worse by saying there's nothing suspicious here. Oh, we don't know what happened, but we know there's nothing suspicious. See, now we're looking closely at you. Check. So they said her death was not suspicious, but have given no more details. Exactly, because you don't know. Shabazz's death comes days after two men were exonerated in the 1965 assassination of her father. Sidebar, I know that many of the daughters, like I think her name is Ilyasha, or you guys can help me. I think Malak, and a couple other daughters, maybe they were pushing, pushing for the exoneration of these men, for the truth to come out. But I'm not sure if Malikah was. Let's take notes, family. I'm not sure if Malikah was. We need information on that. Malcolm X was shot dead at the Audubon Ballroom in Washington Heights. Shout out to my family in Washington Heights. Vive mi gente dominicanos. Anyway, in Washington Heights on February 21st, 1965. 3 men were arrested and convicted: Muhammad Aziz, Khalil Islam, and Thomas Hagen, who later changed his name to Talmadge Hayer and then to Mujahid Halim. Both Aziz and Islam always denied their role, but Halim has always admitted he was involved in the shooting. Aziz was paroled in 1985. Islam was paroled in 1987. Halim was paroled in 2010. So we have 1, 2, 3 of the men who were arrested and convicted of murdering Malcolm X were free. Okay, whether exoneration, whatever, parole, whether they were set free, they're free, they were paroled, okay? Aziz was paroled in 1985, Islam was paroled in 1987, Halim in 2010. 4 days ago, a court overturned the conviction of Aziz, who was already free, overturned the conviction of Aziz, who is now 83. There's the 11 again. 8 and 3 is 11. And Islam, who died in Brooklyn in 2009. There's another 11. I'm going to point it out if you think it's silly. 3s, 6s, 9s, and 11s will be pointed out when I see them. I didn't even point out the 3, but I'm going to definitely point out the 11s. I'll stick with the 11s. I'll really focus on the 11s. The conviction of Halim remains standing. One of Malcolm X's daughters supported the judge's decision. Yes, okay, I forget which daughter that was. Okay, Black civil rights leader Malcolm X's daughter Malikah Shabazz, not to be confused with her twin Malikah Shabazz. Both of those names mean king and princess. Okay, so Malak means king and Malikah means princess. Just a little information there. Malikah Shabazz had been sick for some time. This information is not coming from doctors, y'all. It's not coming from family, according to what I see. It's coming from the police. Because when they asked one of the sisters if she wanted to say something, she said she was so heartbroken she could not speak at that time. Interesting. Put that in, just put that on the sidebar, put a pin in it. From an unspecified long-term illness before she was found dead at her Brooklyn home 4 days after 2 men were exonerated in her father's murder, police said Tuesday. Malikah, 56, was found by her daughter in the home. We went over that at 4:40 p.m. Double numbers. 4:40 p.m. on Monday. NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea said Shabazz had been sick for some time. We already went over that. Wow, they keep on saying that, right? Y'all see how they keep repeating that? Daily Mail is the devil. Okay. We are investigating, and the cause of death is pending the final results of additional testing. So you don't even know why she died. So why is it not suspicious? I'm going to keep repeating for my end for balance. You don't even know why she died. So how is it not suspicious? But the death does not appear to be suspicious. How do you know? Excuse me. How do you know it's not suspicious if you don't know why she died? Somebody walking in the house, finding their parent on the floor and not knowing why they died is pretty suspicious to me. The coroner office said that. Okay. Linked to the police, obviously. Malikah never met her famous father because her mother was pregnant with her at the time. Her mother, Betty, was pregnant with her and her twin sister when he was shot dead at the Audubon Ballroom in Washington Heights in 1965. Another bit of information for everybody. In a lot of the esoteric rituals and, people want to say Illuminati. I am very reluctant to call it that. But in a lot of this esoteric ritual assassinations and murders and whatever you want to say, sacrifices, they will use the symbology or the symbolism of twins. I can get into the esoteric symbolism of twins later, but twins are very relevant in esoteric rituals and spirituality. When he was shot dead. Okay, so we went over that. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat yet, guys. I will. There's a picture of her. I skimmed by it. So she's a very beautiful sister. All of them are beautiful. And she clearly loved her mother, loved her father. Okay. And every one of these children looked just like this man. He had strong genes. Okay, out of respect, I'm just saying right here what you're looking at is the body of the deceased sister. So we'll just have a moment of silence, for just a few moments of silence. Thank you, Maxford. Ilyasa Shabazz. Thank you, family. Okay, so I'm checking the chat. Peace to my sister Benita. Peace to Asia Graves. Peace, sis. Yes, Cosmo, thank you. Ultimately, it is the 2. We want to focus on the 11 for all the esoteric reasons. Promised son, what was the cause of her death? Exactly. It is not known, brother. They don't even know. So this is the picture the Daily Mail took of the sister's body, which was removed from the home. The home was sealed off, y'all. So if it was no foul play and it wasn't suspicious and the daughter lives there with her, does the daughter still need to go back and forth into the home? Why is the daughter not allowed to enter into the home anymore? Why? Because they know it was suspicious. That's why. They don't want any private investigators going in there, doing their own independent, the family, the daughter, having her own independent investigation underway. But if it were me and I owned that home, I'd snap that little sticker right off that door and walk my black behind right in there and start investigating. I'd lock it off. I would have somebody dust that place for all kinds of fingerprints, all kinds of bugs, any type of trace of chemicals, you know, like, what's it called, y'all? What's it called? You know what it is, the poison. It's called R.I.S.E. It's called R.I.S.E. Dang, I always forget. You guys will put it in the chat, I know. I'll look later. It's called R.I.S.E, I think. R.I.S.E. Can't remember. Okay, we're going to look at this very disrespectful video. It's going to take 4 minutes and 44 seconds, family. 444, which is 12, which is 3. But look at those double, triple numbers, fam. I'm telling you, there's something going on here. And somebody might say, well, why are you saying that? That's the news outlet. They have nothing to do with the government. You know what? Bye-bye. We don't have time to, we can't do this right now. We can't give the milk. This is a meat session. We're having some meat right now. We'll talk to you about the connection between every single government agency is connected to news outlets. They're controlled. I don't even know what's going to happen to my channel and my video just for saying these little bit of things. I might get, you know, put on some list. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm all that, but even anybody saying any little thing is marked. Excuse me. So let's see here. Let me start the video. All right. I got to make sure you guys can see it. Seriously? Oh, Lord. This computer is testing my patience, but I will be cool because I have dominion over this thing. I'm laughing, but it's true. I just got to just chill. There's a reason it's slow. It's because yeah, here we go. It's loading. All right, family.
Shouldn't be any fear of getting the vaccine. I feel more comfortable now that I have the vaccine to be able to go to family, give them hugs, just smile and not have to worry about the fact that, hey, I might get COVID. It's a huge weight off my shoulders.
Y'all heard that. We'll talk about that later. Wow, it is so slow. Okay, can you see it? Let me check the chat. Oh, God. Okay, family. Okay, family. What is the deal here? This isn't, I don't know if it's playing. I'm not even, I gotta close these tabs. I already said that, but. And this wasn't even happening when I was getting everything prepared. It just started happening.
Good, how are you? Good.
All right. Unfortunately, I have some very slow. My connection is just the computer. I've already cleared some stuff out. I got to do it again. I don't even know if you guys can see it because I can't even, I'm going to look at the chat soon, but hopefully it's playing. I'm not even seeing it. I'm not even on that page anymore. Just letting you know I'm still here, but my system is frozen. Yeah, these pages. Okay, let me see. Okay. So peace to Lala. I see you in the chat. I finally could at least get to my YouTube page. So it's super slow, but you see, I don't know if you can see the audio. What I'm seeing is the police approaching her home, her Brooklyn home. And so I'm watching it like you guys are watching it from YouTube. Oh, there's an echo? Damn. Okay, thank you, Max. The police said hello to the cameraman, which was weird to me too. Like, why would the police say "What's up, guys" to them? So you see them approaching her door. No one's there, and they're gonna put a sticker on it, like to seal it. Why? Yeah, it is exactly, Max. That's her private home. I'm looking at it from YouTube right now. Right, Promised Son. They were exonerated just days before her death. Literally days before. So you see that title where it says Malcolm X's daughter found dead at her home? That used to say committed suicide, y'all. That's what the Daily Mail had up. They changed it. So that's in Flatbush, Midwood. Right, thank you. Thank you, Max Bird. See the sticker, friends? Okay. Why are they sealing her home if it's not suspicious? It's not a murder scene, according to them. Why are they sealing the home? If she just was sick, Why are they stealing the home? Because they know. And then he takes a picture to verify that he put it on there. Excuse me. Okay, and look at the garbage. I want to show you guys something, by the way. Look at the gloves that they left around the yard. You know the gloves, like when they go in and pick the body up? Why did they just take their gloves off? Because I saw another video before. I don't even know if they're going to show it on this one, if they edited that out. But you're going to see, okay, there's the trash, possibly from the family. But watch. You're going to see blue gloves, latex gloves. Okay, wait, that's the wait, damn. I can't really get in there to pause it, but it says that the premises were sealed off by the police. Look at the gloves, family, in the planter, in the front of the door. I don't know what this news article, this news magazine or newspaper is, FJJ. We got to research that. But why would they leave their gloves? Why would they leave that trash? That's so disrespectful. Watch what they zoom in on. I'm going to try to pause it. Oh, they didn't do it this time. Oh, see that sign that says dead end? They edited it out because people probably complained. They zoomed in on I can't get the footage because I can't find the video anymore, and I had to go to the internet. It was on YouTube, but I couldn't find it, so I had to go to the internet and get this one. They changed the title from suicide, and they zoomed in. If you see that dead end sign, family, they zoomed into just the word dead for like 3 seconds. And then they zoomed out end. How disrespectful. Why? Why the blatant disrespect for the sister? Why? You see what I'm saying? Why would they do that? Notice that it says 4:40 p.m. she was found, and then the video is 4:44. It's like those double numbers. What's 4:4? What's the 4:4 about? We got to look into this. I know 4:4 is 8. Maybe Cosmo can. Anybody that knows about numerology, we want to talk on that. But at this point, we want to find out. We see the blatant disrespect. We see how they're rushing to say, "Oh, it's no foul play," but we don't want anybody going in there. So let me pause it. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Try to get back to StreamYard. All right, so let me see. Any comments? Isn't that crazy, Clyde? Like, you guys, you know that was so disrespectful. Peace, Sarah Van. That was so disrespectful. And I wish I had the original family where they zoomed in. Y'all would be like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. And that's the spirit. Of course, you know, I worship the Most High, but that's the spirit of the sister. I know it is. I'm getting these goosebumps. I know it's the spirit. Her spirit is telling us, yes, it is off. I feel the hairs raised. I wish I could show you the goosebumps on my arms. I'm receiving so much energy from that sister. And let me tell you, I had a dream last night that was very, very powerful. And it came from, I'm just going to let you know, something to do, it's tied into, oh God, like the UN. I don't think they're called the UN. Well, they are the UN, but oh God, what's that called? The European group that came together. Help me out. They're called the Euro, the Council. You know, like all the European groups came together, like the United States came together. Peace, ARE radio. But I had a dream about that, especially Germany. I had a dream about a woman. I think this is about her being in the hospital. The EU. Thank you. Yes, the European Union. Thank you. EU. I was having a brain glitch. Thank you. Thank you, Fitz. Thank you, Be More. So a woman was on a bed in the hospital, and her sisters were coming in. I'm not lying to you, family. I'm not lying. Her sisters were coming in. One of her sisters was a doctor, and her sister told her, I was in like channeling the woman. So I was the woman, but I knew it wasn't about me. They came in and they told her, you're very sick from what you eat. They were saying, you're very sick from what you eat. Your diet makes you very sick. And the woman, which I was the woman, but I knew, you know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't me. She was like, I eat a healthy diet. I don't even eat badly. So what are you talking about? And then the doctor, who was her sister, left out. And then the other sister came in, was the nurse. And she was like smiling and said, give me your arm. I have to take some blood. But she took the arm and she took, it wasn't a ruler. It was like a pin, but it was like a long pin that looked, and it had the markings like a ruler would have, like, you know, like the measurements, but it was a pin, and she laid it. The woman laid out her right arm, which I was inside the body of this person. And then the sister laid the pencil or whatever, the ruler pencil, on the middle of the woman's inside forearm and measured her arm. And she was like, why are you measuring my arm? And her sister, who was the nurse, was just smiling. And then she took some blood from her. And then she said, so what's wrong with me? And then she's like, well, you're dying, but you'll be okay. And she's like, why? What am I dying from? Tell me what I'm dying from. And the nurse wouldn't tell her. So that was very powerful. I'm not going to get too much into that because I know there are people out there like, oh, that's so funny. Okay, do you? But that was a very powerful dream. And I was already compelled to do, you know, I report on certain things that are important to our people. So I was already going to talk about this anyway, but I am compelled to talk about the esoteric side of it. And I really think that had something to do with the sister Malikah. Remember, her name means princess, and her sister's name means king or prince. So, all right. So back to the facts of this case. Now we looked at okay, sis. Yeah, definitely. Come back in. Look at her pretty face. Come back in and listen later. You know, play it back, Lala. All right. So anyway, family, let's go back to reading some of this information about Malcolm X and his children, specifically his children. There's a lot more on this Daily Mail article that I'd like to read, even though they are distorting a lot of stuff. But I do appreciate them allowing us to have this information. Wink, wink. No, really. But let me just screen share again so the family, all of you, can look at the home. So let's finish up this article, okay? Shall we? All right. So you should see right now, the house. This is the home that the sister lived in with her daughter. Now, these women, from what my research on her specifically, they were very private people, quiet. I know that she has a criminal history, but you know, we're not going to condemn that sister for the things she thought she had to do in her life to survive or to do whatever. Her and her daughter, we will talk about the situation with the dogs and the rental truck. But for now, we're just going to take a look at their home. Looks like a nice, quiet neighborhood to me. I don't know, but there's a terrace at the top. I think that's their entire home. And yeah, so this is the home they lived in. Let's move on. Shabazz, who was 56, 1 of 6. Okay, fine, got it. 11, 1, 6. So 1, 1, 6. 56, 1 of 6, was found dead by her daughter, Malikah Shabazz, 23, in the home they shared together. So remember, they sealed that home off. Why, if the daughter lived there? Look how beautiful they are with their mother. These are the beautiful sisters with the late Betty Shabazz. I believe the first one, if you go to the left, I believe this is Malikah. Looks like her very much. If it's not, y'all, sorry. I don't know if it's Malikah or not. They all look so similar, but I believe that's her. I don't know each one of them by name, but those are definitely Malcolm X's beautiful daughters. Oh, here it is. It'll tell us, I think. Okay, yeah, it was Malikah. Ooh, good job. Good job, Napah, right? So there's Dr. Betty Shabazz Center, widow of the late Malcolm X, with her daughters left to right, Malikah. Actually, that's awesome that this sister, okay, I get it. They say they're trying to put out that she was sick, but look at you guys. Does she look, from the pictures we see of her right before she was deceased, she doesn't look much different than she did when she was a young woman. So that to me tells me, how could she be super sick? Yeah, I guess she could have good genes. And yeah, she could be sick. I'm not saying she wasn't, but she doesn't look like she aged very much. She doesn't look like she aged. She ages very gracefully, very well. So here's the sister Malikah. And then rest in power. Here is her sister Malak. Now, Malak, look at Malak, y'all. She has changed drastically. I want to stay on this. Malak, who is in the forefront, and this is no disrespect to any of these beautiful sisters. Malak is still a beautiful woman, but Malak has aged drastically from what we see in this picture. But Malikah, her twin, doesn't look much different at the time of her passing away. So they're saying she was so sick. I'm just pointing these things out, okay? So Malak, and then here's Kubila with the glasses, and Ilyasa at the theater for the screening of the Spike Lee movie Malcolm X, which was quite some time ago. I cannot find anything of just Malikah talking or speaking about her father on her own. Am I saying there's nothing out there? Of course not, but I am hard-pressed to find it, so please, if you have it, please bring it to our attention so we could read it or watch it, because I'd like to hear from this woman, even though she's deceased, if there's something that she spoke and, something in the archives and the records, I'd like to see it. So why is this not responding? Oh, God, really? Gotta be kidding me. Huh, that was weird, huh? No, not really. Okay, so let me go back to that. They want to show notifications. No. Okay, moving right along. Okay. So, no, it's back to not responding. Damn, I really wanted to read the rest of that. And they look so much like their father. They have such strong features. Oh, family. Oh, my family, my people. This is slow, so Let me get back to not responding. Okay. Check something out. Wow. Okay. All right. Damn, this is so slow. I'm still here. I'm just trying to get back to StreamYard and close some of these tabs, some more of these tabs. Okay. This tab is using your microphone. Yes, it is. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Dang. Peace, Sonnetter. Because they weren't identical. Right. You're talking about how they look different, huh? Yeah, they weren't. They were fraternal. Very sad, Fritz. I'm sorry. Very sad, Fitz. I wonder if she was the fifth born child. I know she was a twin. Yes, she was a twin, sis. Okay. So that article is giving me trouble. It's giving me trouble, y'all. I gotta close some of these tabs. Whew, Lord. So yeah, if you have anything on the sister and you want to share it, please. Closing some of these tabs. Please do so. Maybe it'll work better now. Okay. Alrighty. Got it. I really wanted to continue on with that article, but that thing is giving me some trouble. So peace, Ronald Love. Let me go and share something else and we'll read a different article. Maybe it is just that article that I was looking at. So let's go ahead and read, which is still circling. Let's read this article. Who are Malcolm X's 5 surviving children? Wow, they didn't hesitate to do that, right? I'm not going to click that one just yet. We're going to click Malcolm X's children now. This is an old article, okay? Because they go over, and y'all are going to see something. Watch when they go over each daughter, and they leave Malikah for the last, family. I want you to take note of that. Open your third eye. Really tune in, because the sister spirit is really freshly transitioning. We will be able to have a lot of, she is an ancestor, if you believe in that. You know, the Most High, all this stuff about don't talk to the dead. We're not talking to the dead, but we're keeping in tune with the ancestors. The sister is giving us so much of, she can lead us through the Most High. Yes, to all you Hebrews that try to say I'm a witch and I'm doing wickedness. No, her spirit can lead us to the truth, because even before she died, she was the one who was so troubled. She seemed like the one who was the black sheep. She was the one who, every time you heard about her in the news, when they reported on her, it was always negative. So I think I'm sharing this now. Yes, I am. Let's read this article. Yes, Sonnetter, exactly. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Yes. Amor Akwamun Atum Rabe. This is extremely sad. This is extremely sad. Thank you, Clyde. Yes, family, please hit the like. It doesn't take much. I really would appreciate it. And if you want to donate, that'd be great. Then maybe I can upgrade my system, right? I'm being serious. But if you just hit the like and share and subscribe, that really makes a difference. Thank you, H. Millette, for always being there, helping me out. Clyde, thank you. Max, Benita, all of my mods. Sonetta, of course. Malikah and Malcom are the twins that Betty was pregnant with when Malcolm X was killed. They were born 7 months later. Exactly. Thank you. Now, let's read this article. And keep in mind, this is an article that was not recent, so that's actually good. I don't know if they're going to scour the internet and get rid of all these old articles. Oh, shoot. Is this old? Wait, hold on, family. Oh, this is the wrong thing. Okay, here it is. This article here. Let me see what I'm sharing. This article is from, oh my gosh. This article is from the year, Malcolm X's children now. Where are his daughters today? This article is, I'm trying to find the date. Damn. Oh, it's not that long ago, but it was last year, February 8th, 2020. So it wasn't this year. So maybe we can get, it won't be so, whitewashed. So there's Malikah right there, family, in the black with the animal print. And there's her sisters. Malcolm X's children included 6 daughters. Here are some of them. 6 of them, ready? Okay. Malcolm X had 6 children with his wife, Betty Shabazz. All of them are daughters. Amazing, right? Malcolm's family is gaining new attention in the wake of the new Netflix documentary, Who Killed Malcolm X? Go watch it. I haven't watched it, but we need to do that tonight or whenever we can, okay? Malcolm X's family continued to suffer tragedy in the wake of his assassination. In fact, one of his daughters, Kubila, has led a dramatic life full of tragedy and accusation. Other daughters have become human rights activists working to continue their father's legacy and to better the world. I beg to differ. All of them are human rights activists, okay? It's just they have different journeys, different paths, different stumbling blocks, okay? Malcolm X's widow, Betty Shabazz, died relatively young in 1997. According to her obituary on CNN, Malcolm's wife died after suffering severe burns at the age of 61. Even worse, it was suspected that her 12-year-old grandson started that fire, CNN reported. He was Kubila's son. Malcolm's daughters are Kubila Shabazz, Atala Shabazz, Gamala Lumumba Shabazz, Ilyasa Shabazz, Malikah Shabazz, and Malikah Shabazz. Okay, you see Malikah's listed last, y'all. Yes, I know they're the youngest, but still, it's like, okay, why didn't Malikah get listed before Malak? But anyway, I'm not being petty. I'm pointing out everything that comes to mind. I have to be super sensitive. It could be something I'm receiving from the spirit, so I'm just going to say it. Malcolm X, age 39, was assassinated inside the Audubon Ballroom in New York City on February 21st, 1965. 3 men, Thomas Hare, Norman 3X Butler, and Thomas 15X Johnson, were all convicted of murder in the case. But only Hare admitted involvement and said that the other 2 men were innocent. The documentary raises serious questions about the investigation of the murder. And the murder. Malcolm's death was only the beginning of the tragedies to hit his wife and his family. Here's what you need to know about Malcolm's daughters. Malikah Shabazz. Malikah Shabazz, daughter of Betty Shabazz, is in this picture, is being helped to a waiting car on the 23rd of June outside of Jacobi Hospital in the Bronx, New York, where Betty Shabazz, the widow of civil rights activist Malcolm X, died the 23rd of June from severe burns to over 80% of her body. The burns she suffered in a fire allegedly set by her grandson, Malikah Shabazz, the son of Malikah Shabazz. So that was her son. Can you imagine the heartbreak? Malcolm's daughter, Malikah Shabazz, has led a traumatic life. She witnessed her dad's assassination as a young child. Her mother died in a blaze set by her son, and her son died in a beating in a Mexican bar. He went out there to fight for civil rights of the workers, and then we're supposed to believe that some people in the local bar beat him to death? Put a pin in that, y'all. We already know, family. Come on. Anyone who is capable of leading the revolution, picking up the torch, or even looking like they will, is eradicated. Remember that. Okay, yes, I know that Malikah Shabazz, the grandson, admitted to setting his grandma's house on fire. But I still raise my eyebrows on how the hell that took place. My eyebrows stay raised on that. I know he tells the whole story about being homesick, how he didn't know it would do that. I still raise my eyebrows. He was 10 when he went to the house. He stayed with her for 2 years. I don't even know what happened. I know he said what happened, but we don't know what happened. Betty Shabazz struggled to live for some time after the blaze set by Kubala's son. Yes, that woman's will to live was amazing. She stayed strong. According to CNN, she was in extremely critical condition after suffering third-degree burns over 80% of her body in the fire at her home. I don't know. We don't even know, family. We can't even say what happened in the hospital with this woman. We can't. Okay, that's not conspiracy theory. That's some. We could back that up. Come on. We don't know what happened to her. It's just so tragic what happened to her. But anyway, eventually she succumbed to her injuries. CNN reported that the youth was arrested on suspicions that he set the blaze because he was unhappy. He had been sent to live with his grandmother. She lived for less than a month after she got burned. What a sad picture, family. How sad is this picture? How sad is this picture? He loved his grandma. How sad is this picture? Rest in power, my brother. Malikah Shabazz is led out of the family court June 3rd in Yonkers, New York, by juvenile correctional officers after a court appearance in connection with the burning of his grandma, Betty Shabazz. Okay, so this is Kubala's story. That's her son, Kubila. The grandson also died tragically. Then 28-year-old grandson of Betty Shabazz and of Malcolm X was killed in a bar fight in Mexico in 2013, according to The Guardian. Eyebrows raised. Guardian reported that Malcolm was the son of Malikah Shabazz, one of 6 daughters that Malcolm X had with Betty. Malikah had witnessed her dad's assassination in 1965 when she was 4 years old. Then her mom was set on fire by her son, and then her son gets beat to death in a bar over a bar tab in Mexico when he went down there to fight for the civil rights of workers. He was an activist. He served 4 years. We're talking about Malikah Shabazz, the grandson. He served 4 years in juvenile detention for the fire, Guardian reported. He later told the New York Times that he wished for a sign of forgiveness from his deceased grandmother. I just want to, quote, he said, I just wanted her to know I was sorry, and I wanted to know she accepted my apology, that I didn't mean it, but I would get no response. And I really wanted that response, close quote. However, he had other brushes with the law. Isn't that sad? This is the bar where they murdered him, assassinated, I will say. Family, the facade of the Palace Bar in Mexico City is seen on May 10th, 2013, where Malikah Shabazz of the U.S., grandson of assassinated African-American leader Malcolm X, died tragically and violently May 9th, 2013, of blunt force trauma injuries reportedly sustained in a fight at the bar, in circumstances still unclear, Mexican authorities said. Oh, really? Because other news outlets say it was over a bar tab, because it wasn't. He was beaten to death and assassinated. According to the Baltimore Sun, Percy Sutton, Malcolm's lawyer, Malikah Shabazz, the grandson, told the court of Kubila, quote, this woman was present at the slaughter. This mother never regained a sense of what it is to be in this society. She became a nomad, and this was another tragedy, unquote. The lawyer said that Malikah Shabazz, the grandson, would repeatedly tell him, quote, I loved Mama Betty, and Mama Betty loved me, unquote. The pain. In 1995, the Justice Department announced the following of Malcolm's daughter, quote, a federal grand jury has indicted Malikah Shabazz, the daughter of the late Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. She was charged with using the telephone and traveling interstate in the course of hiring another person to murder Minister Louis Farrakhan, y'all, the leader of the Nation of Islam, unquote. I don't know if y'all are really, listen, family, y'all need to let that process, okay? Because she got arrested for all of this before the boy was sent to live with her mother. The boy was sent to live with her mother because of her conviction, okay? Let me read that again. In 1995, the Justice Department announced the following of Malcolm's daughter, talking about Kubila. Quote, a federal grand jury has indicted Kubila Shabazz, the daughter of the late Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. She was charged with using the telephone and traveling interstate in the course of hiring another person to murder Minister Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam, unquote. She wasn't playing, y'all. She wasn't doing play. They caught her in the process of planning to assassinate Minister Louis Farrakhan. She lost her son after she was convicted. But let's continue to read. Let's read. Let's read and figure out what's going on here. I know the boy said, he said, there's more to this. I'm not just, come on, family. I'm not going to implicate anyone without evidence, but my eyebrows are raised, okay? The indictment continued, quote, at all times mentioned in the indictment to the present, no physical attempt on Louis Farrakhan's life was made, nor was he in immediate danger. Farrakhan, who resides in Chicago, was notified about the investigation by the FBI, which was monitoring the alleged scheme by audio tape, videotape, surveillance, and other investigative methods, unquote. Yeah, so of course nothing, that he wasn't in physical harm, but she was on the way, or she was trying to get him assassinated. She wasn't playing. Otherwise, she wouldn't have gotten indicted and convicted. And the FBI informed him. They notified him about the investigation. So basically, he knew that she was trying to kill him. He knew that she was trying to have him assassinated, family. Are y'all processing this at all? I hope so. The government eventually accepted a plea bargain. Kubila, I think it's Kubila, believed Farrakhan bore responsibility for her dad's death. History.com reports. However, the site concludes that Farrakhan, quote, most likely was not directly involved in the plot, unquote. We're talking about the death of Malcolm X. History.com says that the FBI tapes showed Kubila as a, quote, tentative and unwilling conspirator. How is she an unwilling conspirator? Unquote. With evidence of entrapment, so she avoided more serious charges. According to the Los Angeles Times, the government dropped murder for hire charges, and Kubila agreed to, quote, complete a 2-year psychiatric and drug dependency program and to stop contending that the government entrapped her, unquote. Y'all, please let me know your ears are open. Let me look at the chat. I got to leave it right there at that, right there. The government, in her plea, she had to say, okay, oh, it's Kabila. Thank you, Senator. Kabila, thank you. Thank you, Senator. Kabila, my bad. Kabila, that's how you pronounce it. Kabila. All right. Did you guys hear what that said? Kabila, thank you. Kabila. So, did y'all hear what that said? Basically, she had to include in her plea agreement that she would stop saying the government is behind her conviction and her entrapment. Interesting. And she had to say that she was on drugs and go into a drug rehab program and a psychiatric program to basically make people think, damn, she's a drug addict and she's crazy. Okay. The minister knew that it was other powers regarding that attempt. Okay, thank you, Ronald. All right, so let's get back to reading this article. Interesting. Okay, so this is the information on the first daughter. We haven't even gotten past the first daughter and all of this crazy chaos and conspiracy and death and assassination is just overpouring it from her life. Sadly. Okay, now we're getting to the lovely, is it Atala? Atala, or what is it, y'all? Is it Atala Shabazz? You guys will tell me later. So, Malikah Shabazz. Malikah Shabazz is Malcolm's oldest daughter. So see, they're not going in chronological order because that was Kabila. I'm sorry, Kabbalah. That was Kabbalah. So this is the oldest daughter of Atala. She is described as an artist, actress, theatrical director, producer, lecturer, and activist. So she may be one of the more innocuous ones. Not trying to discount any of her activism, but she sounds like she may be a little bit more mainstream. She is also the former ambassador to Belize. Okay. Shout out to the Belizeans. In 2002, after years of personal service, the Honorable Said Musa Esquire, former Prime Minister of Belize, recognized her as a key advisor on international cultural affairs and project development, and appointed her as the ambassador at large, representing Belize internationally and in perpetuity. She has had the honor of being invited to participate in the U.S. State Department's diplomatic briefing forums and the United Nations Association. Close quote. The Muhammad Ali Center says, okay, according to her APB Speakers Bureau bio, Attallah, quote, graduated from the United Nations International School at 17 and entered Briarcliff College the following fall semester, majoring in international law with a minor in English, close quote. She established the Pilgrimage Foundation, quote, in honor of her father's spiritual journey to the Holy Land, unquote. The site says, quoting her as saying, quote, it offered him the light of understanding and confirmed his vision for our oneness, unquote. With Yolanda King, she also founded a group named Nucleus Inc., or Nucleus Incorporated, in 1977. Gamila Lumumba Shabazz, third daughter. With Gamila Lumumba Shabazz, daughter of the late great Malcolm X. Gamila was born in 1964, the year before her dad's death. She has mostly been in the news recently for her efforts to help her sisters create a clothing line using their dad's image. According to the New Yorker, Malcolm's daughters recently announced a clothing line called Malcolm X Legacy that includes sweatshirts, hats, and t-shirts with the slogans like, quote, by any means necessary, unquote, and, quote, a man who stands for nothing will fall for anything, unquote. Those are her father's quotes. Malikah Shabazz. This is from her Twitter, Malikah Shabazz's Twitter. 55 years ago, Malcolm X was assassinated. Serious questions linger. Why was there minimal police presence? She's talking about at the hall. Why were two of three killers convicted with no physical evidence? A 6-part documentary series, Who Killed Malcolm X? Question. Investigates. Okay, so let me say that over. A 6-part documentary series, Who Killed Malcolm X? Investigates. Coming to Netflix Friday, February 7th. So she posted that on February 4th, last year, 2020. The New Yorker says that Ilyasa, the New Yorker magazine, newspaper, says that Ilyasa, the third daughter in birth order, is the most public of the sisters. You can see her website here. Quote, we all understand that our father's reputation and image were misappropriated by the media in the 1960s, unquote. Ilyasa told the magazine, the New Yorker magazine, which says she's a motivational speaker who, quote, teaches a course on cultural pluralism at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. I have some friends who graduated from there, unquote, sorry. She also published a children's book about her mother called, quote, Betty Before X, unquote. According to the New Yorker, she once criticized Nicki Minaj for, quote, repurposing a famous photograph of Malcolm X holding a rifle, unquote. Bia King, Bernice King says, this is from Bernice King's Twitter, with my dear sister and friend at Malikah Shabazz at King Centers at hashtag Malcolm MLK commemorative service. Such an honor to have Ilyasa present. Both our fathers, hashtag Malcolm X and hashtag MLK, were freedom fighters. Both our mothers, hashtag Coretta Scott King and hashtag Betty Shabazz, were visionaries and more. Hashtag MLK Day. So this is Ilyasa and Bernice King on Twitter. Ilyasa is active on Twitter. You can find her account on Twitter. On it, she defines herself as, quote, an educator, organizer, speaker, author, unquote. She has been sharing information on the documentary, writing on Twitter, quote, 55 years ago. Okay, we read that. All right. On her website, she writes, quote, my goal is to empower future generations through understanding the world's diverse culture and historic civilizations, unquote. So we're almost through this, family. Just it's important to go through all the different sisters. Here is the recently deceased Malikah this is her sister, her twin sister, Malikah Shabazz. According to the New Yorker magazine, Malak and Malikah are the youngest of the daughters. They are twins born 7 months after their father's death. Malak is a human rights activist today. Quote, my father wore his religion in his back pocket. He didn't push that on anyone. He was very much a Muslim, but he was also Black in the United States. That meant something, unquote. She told France 24's Shona Shona Batakkaraya. That's what she told the reporter. She added, quote, frankly, I don't think things would be this bad if he was still alive. He was an advocate in every country. If he heard about it, he was there. I think today we would be the Mandela, be the Kofi Annan. Shout out to Kofi Annan's family, my friend Kojo, and the rest of his family, who they called, no, that was from me, y'all. That wasn't her quote. Just shouting out the family, who they called on. There's really nobody to do that, but it was his passion to make sure injustice was heard, close quote. So now, family, you saw all of the information. We took a lot of time on the sisters, right? Check out what happens when we get to Malikah Shabazz. Malikah Shabazz. There is the beautiful sister. The first one to the left of, I think that's Kubila, if I'm wrong. Look at her in all black with the clear glasses and the black power fist around her neck. The sister right here is Malikah. From left, we have, okay, they gave it to us. Thank you. They have Ilya Atal. No, that's Malikah right there. Help me if I'm wrong, family. This is Malikah, right? Or no? Looks like her to me. But they say this is Ilyasa. They didn't even spell the name right. I think this is incorrect. That I'm almost positive is Malikah Shabazz. But it says from left, Ilya Atala. Oh, the names are all messed up on here. And Gamila, 3 of the daughters of Betty Shabazz. I would bet money that's Malikah. Okay. Malikah, here we get to Malikah, y'all. Malikah has feuded with her sisters. Quote, one of the daughters, Malikah Shabazz, accuses her 2 sisters, Ilyasa and Malikah Shabazz, the 2 very vocal ones. Now, write that down, y'all. Ilyasa and Malak are the 2 who don't have any like dirt on their names, like Kubila does. Or I don't think Gamila has any dirt on her name either. But these are the 2 very prominent ones, Ilyasa and Malak. Okay, she has feuded. One of the daughters, Malikah Shabazz, accuses her sisters, Ilyasa and Malikah Shabazz, and their former lawyer of spending estate money on themselves while permitting property and other estate assets to languish and a tax bill to skyrocket. Close quote. This was a quote from NBC report. However, Malikah has had her own travails. Here we go. She was sentenced to 5 years probation for, quote, swindling an elderly widow out of $55,000 by running up the charges on her credit card, close quote. And that was reported by KissRichmond.com, which this is supposedly occurred in 2011. Malikah was also arrested with her daughter, with Malcolm's granddaughter, her daughter, who she lived with, who found her dead. in 2017, and they were accused of animal cruelty. Pit bulls were discovered being kept in inhumane conditions. They were transporting pit bulls in a truck, a moving truck. So that was all they had on Malikah. Nothing else, y'all. That was it. So let me get back to the family and see if what you guys are doing over here. Yeah, but that didn't look like her, Max. That doesn't look like it said Ilyasa, but to me, that didn't look like her. But you know, what do I know? Okay. I will be doing an exclusive interview with Jacques Amos on the alleged charges. Oh, when? When are you doing that? Oh, my phone is off, King. Okay, well, are you still in there, Sonetter? Because I don't know if you're doing it right now, because I can close this down. Yeah, right. That's right, H. Millett. Is he doing it tonight, you guys? Because I don't have my phone on right now, so I can't contact him, and I'm doing this. But, okay, so we might have to do a part 2, because if Sonetter's going to go live, I'm going to close this down. But basically, family, this is deep. This gets deep. We're going to find out more about her. Even give you guys some time. Peace, Black Rose. I know it's sad. Give y'all some time to, if you can, find some information for me. Where is an interview on this sister? Like, no one has interviewed it? Malikah interviewed it. Girl, Pa, you're stop. No one has interviewed Malikah? Oh, okay. Is he going live tonight? Because I can't message him. My phone is off because the battery is dead. I'm on 0. So if I need to close this down, I will. So, but yeah, foul play is what it looks like. I smell something ain't right. Okay. So, it's really sad. Let me stop screen sharing that. There was another article I wanted to read. Let me read about the feud where Malikah is accusing them, and then I think I'll end it. I know. Yeah, he didn't say. Let me drop the link again, family, if anybody wants to come in and add, like, add some information, but I'm going to screen share and read this. Oh, I will do it with him tonight, Sonetter? Is it tonight, King? Because you let me know I can close the stream down. Sonetter. I think it is tonight. That's why I think he's doing that. Is it tonight? Let me know. I'm not going to screen share until I see, because I want to see your response. I'll just read the article to you guys, okay? This is actually on, instead of screen share, this is on exposedcorruptcourts.blogspot.com, okay? So, Malcolm X's trove hidden during feud. Now, this is originally from the New York Times, an article by John Elligan from the New York Times, and it was published February 8th, 2011. So, a feud over the estate of Betty Shabazz, the widow of Malcolm X, has created divisions among the couple's 6 daughters and has resulted in something none of them had intended, keeping part of their father's legacy from the public. The daughters have traded accusations of irresponsibility, mental incapacity, and fiscal mismanagement of the estate, which is worth about $1.4 million. But the greater value may reside in a trove of unpublished works from Malcolm X and Dr. Shabazz. As the dispute drags on in Westchester County Surrogate's Court, efforts to publish the works have been thwarted by the daughters bickering. All must, wait, just a minute. All must sign off on any plan to sell and release the materials. Uh-oh. Hold on, family. Y'all got to help me out here. Tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Senator. Y'all got to help me out. Did you just hear that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps again. Yes. I'm chanting the sister spirit. I feel it. Oh, here's my king. Peace, king.
Peace. What's going on? I don't want to mess up your flow. You're doing great. You're doing great.
You never mess up my flow. I don't want to echo.
You hear me?
I hear you just perfectly fine. Did you hear what I just read? Before I get into what I just read, Senator, you being, the Black revolutionary that you are, I want you to just talk to the family a little bit about what your feelings are about the passing of the sister.
Well, yeah, it's definitely sad. I don't know that much about it because Max Bird hit me up and let me know yesterday, but I wasn't able to get no research on it because I was so busy. I went out early in the morning, came back in late, So,
right.
Yeah, it's definitely sad, but I got on it when Max Bird hit me up. I hit you up, remember? And I was like, yo, Nepal, get on this right here. Go do some research
I told
on
you
it.
about this.
Yeah.
Okay, honey, go ahead.
Research so we can go ahead and go in.
Right.
And you was like, yeah, no doubt. We got to go and get this. But, yeah, tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Me and Shaka Utmost. Shaka called me today. He wanted me to come today, but like I said, I was busy. I was outside running around. But, yeah, we got an exclusive interview tomorrow on the slander of Shaka Utmost. The alleged crimes that they are accusing Shaka of. The dirty YouTube ass people, But you're doing great. I don't want to come mess up your flow. I'm sitting here to learn.
No, I'm glad you did get in here and let the people know to tune in on that because, I was going to report on this in other news. We have to stop slandering and the witch hunts of brothers and sisters just because you might not like the people. Okay, so yes, we're going to tune into that tomorrow. Senator, but you remember that I was talking to you because I wanted to get more information on the sister. Do you notice that all the information out there on this particular sister is just negative? I can't find any interviews on her. Do you know anything about, can you lead us in the direction or what?
If this the one that I've been trying to get an interview with, I even asked her sister, the Malcolm X's daughter, the sister that I interviewed. I was trying to get in touch with the one that she always wear her African garbs in the summertime and she is definitely conscious and militant. That's the one that I really wanted to get, but I bumped into what's her name?
There's Malik.
The one that wrote the book, the one that I interviewed.
Ayasha. What's her name, y'all? Please.
Something. Damn, man.
Masira.
Yeah, I got. I'm gonna definitely go to the funeral. Yeah, Ilyasa. There you go. I called Garfield. I said, Garfield, we got to go to the funeral. Because we know that the family gonna be there, and we can catch up with some of the family, So,
yeah,
I'm gonna definitely go to the funeral. So we got to find out when is that funeral.
That's right, sis.
And the one that you was talking about, her grandson, Malcolm's grandson, little Malcom. Yeah, he was murdered in Mexico. He was killed in Mexico.
Right.
And, just before they did that, I had a nice little one-on-one talk with him on 125th Street.
Tell us what you talked about.
Yeah, I got pictures. We was just building and, stuff like that on what he was doing because he was the most militant one out of the boys. So, we was just talking about him and what's going on with him and his footsteps following his, Malcolm, his grandfather.
Wow.
But it was nice. It was good. And then next thing you know, I hear that he was murdered. I was like, damn, murdered? This is crazy.
Yeah,
and, he was also accused of setting the house on fire for Betty, his grandmother. He was also accused of that crime. Right.
We covered that. That's just so still my eyebrows are raised on all this because what we do know, what we read and uncovered and put the pieces together is his mother, what you say her name is pronounced Kabila.
Yeah,
Kabila was she was convicted. She said she was innocent, I guess, but she was convicted of conspiring to assassinate Farrakhan, and she had to send her son. Yeah, so you want to speak on that? Speak on that.
Well, you know, at first she was against him, but you know, Farrakhan and his smooth ass talking, you know, Farrakhan is a smooth operator. But yeah, she was definitely against Minister Farrakhan for you know, they said that he contributed to killing Malcolm. He edged it on, so to speak. Not contribute to it, but he edged it on. Like, he set the atmosphere up for it. That's what they was accusing him of. He didn't kill Malcolm himself, but they saying that he set the atmosphere. Remember, Farrakhan came out and said, what business is it of yours that we deal with a traitor the way we deal with a traitor? He was talking about Malcolm. So, you can still find that. That's out there. You know? It's out there. So,
So that's very interesting how we see her son was sent to stay with the grandma for 2 years while she dealt with those legal issues stemming from that conviction. And we also pointed out that in her plea, or in her, plea for, pleading pleading the charges down, basically, she had to agree to stop saying that the government was behind in a conspiracy, that the government entrapped her. They made her put that in her agreement. That's very interesting to me. And when
can you remove the comment right there? Can you remove that?
Oh, yes, sir.
I needed to. I put in there. I wanted you to pin the comment where people was putting up your link for your PayPal. You should pin that. Pin that. You could go back up and look for it and pin it. That way it'll be at the top of your
Yeah, I can't. I'm not in my YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
But I will do that. So thank you, King. You're always trying to help me. So let me say, I was gonna say something. Oh, also, Sonetter, do you guys hear that feedback? That like white noise?
Is it me?
No, it's my end. Oh, it was you. Okay, unmute.
That's my radiator. It's going off right now. My radiator.
Oh, okay, that's okay then. No, because you don't want to freeze. You're nice and cozy. King, did you also see that we saw that the FBI told Farrakhan about the alleged plot and was letting them know that the sister was allegedly, so she was in danger ultimately.
But that's the FBI job, is to get you fighting each other. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? You know damn well they don't care nothing about Minister Louis Farrakhan, and they don't care nothing about Malcolm family. So if you could get one to fight against the other, that's a good thing. You know?
Right.
That's a good thing for them. And that was their goal, is to get one to fight against the other.
Right. I was reading about how Malikah was really at odds with Ilyasa and Malak, her twin. Let me just mute you out. Peace, Lionel. So I was reading that. Did you see I was in the middle of that article talking about this war, this feud that they were having on this is very important information, family. This feud that they were having about the trove of information of the archives, the writings of Malcolm X and their mother, Dr. Betty Shabazz. Now, what's important about this is, I don't know, this article is from 2011, but I don't know what they did, what came about of this trove, if it was resolved. But it does say that all of them have to sign off. It said all of them have to sign off on any plans to sell and release the material, which includes four journals that Malcolm X kept during trips to Africa and the Middle East in 1964. Now, this was 10 years ago, so I don't know if it was resolved, but it's very interesting information. A year before his assassination, the battle represents the latest turn in the complex journey of a family that has come to define the struggle and pride of Blacks in America. The clash also underscores the difficulty of preserving the legacy of a prominent figure, especially when it requires uniting competing personalities and visions. The competing personalities and visions are the sisters. Malikah was against Ilyasah and against Moloch. Okay, I got to put this link in the chat, y'all. Y'all got to read this. I'm going to drop this in the chat. Family, the mods, if you could just share it. But Sonetta, what do you think about that information? And Lionel too. I mean, basically, I don't know if they resolved it. It was 10 years ago. But we see that Malikah was starkly against her sisters when it came to dealing with their father's estate and how they handled it. And Ilyasah and Moloch are two of the prominent figures who are out in the public who don't have dirt on their names, like Kabila does. And who was the one you interviewed Ilyasah, Sonetta, correct? You're muted. You're mute, Sonetta.
Yes, Ilyasah. Yeah, she have her office downtown. And me and Garfield was supposed to go down there and interview her, but this whole COVID thing broke out. And once the COVID thing broke out, everything just went dead, you know? Went dead.
Wow. I would love to get her back.
For that. But we still got her contact, and, you know, that's why I said we got to go to this funeral. We got to make it to the funeral.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a definite plan. Peace, Lionel. Did you want to add anything about the topic?
Yes, I would. What's up, brother Sonetta? What's up, Queen
Lionel.
Napah? How y'all doing today? I'm doing all right. I just want to chime in a little bit on this situation. You know, I don't want to put on like, you know, my tinfoil, you know, delivery boy, you know, Koofy hat or anything. But I mean, do y'all remember what happened to Malcolm X's, you know, grandson, you know, back in the day, like I think in 08 or something like that?
Right, yes, you do. You're just speaking about how I got beaten to death in Mexico.
Yeah, like I just find it kind of almost like weird that if you look at, you know, children of revolutionaries like Tupac, you know, he was the son of Matulu and Afeni Shakur, you know, these lines of, you know, of our revolutionaries, you know, they wind up, you know, dying and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not claiming conspiracy, but this is sad, you know? Well,
yeah, it's very, very suspect. And for the news to say, oh, there's nothing wrong here, there's not suspicious. And Sonetta and Lionel, I just want to let you know, I don't know if you heard me. Do you know the news, the Daily Mail came out and said the sister committed suicide, but they had to take it down. They had said the sister committed suicide. And
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is very off. And they took it down and changed it. And then they went in and said, they don't know how she died, Jefford. They came in and said after that, she was just sick. She was sick for a long time. They don't even know why
That's what I heard.
Sorry, King, to interrupt you, but they don't even know how she died.
So that right there, we got to look into that and see what happens. You know, we got to really see what happens with that right there.
Right.
Yeah, how old is she? Like almost like 55, you know?
She was
60.
56. She was 56.
Yeah.
Did you tell the people also that, you know, I was saying you need to do a video too on the whole situation with young Pharaoh and what's going on right now with young Pharaoh.
Let's talk about it. Look, first off, justice for Asia.
Well, I don't know that much about it. I'm just grabbing the stuff and coming back in, looking at this thing here, and they talking about young Pharaoh have been arrested for threatening the goddamn lawyer. Like, how can you threaten a lawyer? You can't do that shit that you do to black people to them white people. They not having that. terroristic threats, man. This is what they saying. Allegedly, terroristic threats.
Serious.
So you can play all that shit to black people on YouTube all you want, but man, listen, white folks are serious with that, and this is why y'all scared to bang on them white people. They serious. They ain't taking that shit like we take that shit, like black people. You threaten all these Negroes want to threaten each other and all that. You are not threatening that white man because he will have your ass on charges. All right?
Oh my God, so you wrong.
So it's easy. It's easy to bang on black people. This is why y'all bang on black people. Leave that white man alone, you punk ass Negroes out there. Leave that white man alone, because he will get you.
You wrong.
And
Right.
He got the money to get you.
Yes, that's right, son. And I just want to read this comment. Not getting off the Pharaoh thing, but just Kingdom L. Exactly.
Yes.
Even the video I saw was weird. We just played that earlier, Kingdom. It says, even the video I saw was weird. Zooming in on the sticker they put on the door that's saying dead.
No, I'm out. No, I'm out.
Wait, you need to mute out, Lionel. I'll mute you. Saying dead and throwing their gloves on the front garden. Yeah, on the planter. How disrespectful was that, son? I don't know if you saw that. And they zoomed into on the dead end sign. They zoomed into just the word dead for like 3 or 5 seconds, and then they zoomed out. Super disrespectful. Super disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disrespect. That's totally disrespect. But I should give Malik a call to see what's happening on that. See what he got on that.
Can you call him now?
Yeah, I'm gonna see what's up.
Awesome. Yeah, we need to find out. That was just like, why are they disrespecting the sister?
I know Malik got some information on that right there.
Right, and then let's see here. So yeah, it's really crazy.
Go ahead, keep talking.
The sister so that was on Saturday she passed away? Family, was it Saturday? Because Monday was the 22nd, or was it Monday or Saturday or what? I don't remember. Let me read it again. It says she was found. See, that's what I don't like, how they're saying she was sick for some time. Don't tell us that. We don't want to hear those lies. I guess she was found last night or yesterday. It was yesterday on the 22nd. So 11/22. Yes, family, I will point out those double digits. 11/22/21. She was found. Very, very, very sketchy. Very sketchy. No, that's okay. I do it all the time. No worries. Oh, Monday. It was Monday, Benita, which was yesterday. Okay, thank you, sis. Yes. Excuse me. Ooh, so, getting back to what just really cool, like bouncing back and forth between information. Somebody said his lawyer is a black woman named Kia. So he was a sister he threatened. The plot thickens, family. But talking about the sister Malikah, I'm just really curious on why they're saying it's not suspicious. It's 100% suspicious. 100% suspicious because she 22, another master number. Thank you, Max. Exactly, another master number. When you get those double digits, you're in those 11s, and yeah, so definitely we're gonna look at those numbers. This woman, since Sonetter went to contact Malik, let me finish reading this article. I might as well screen share it. I did put the link in there, but I'll screen share it. I'm reading this article on this blog called Expose Corrupt Courts. So let me read the rest of this about her feud with the sisters. So I left off where it says, complex journey of a family that has come to define the struggle of Black pride. The clashes also underscore the difficulty of preserving the legacy of a prominent figure, especially when it requires uniting competing personalities and visions. All the sisters had to sign off. Dr. Shabazz died in 1997, 3 weeks after suffering extensive burns in a house fire set by one of her grandsons. No will was found, even though some believed that one had existed. The matter of her estate moved to surrogate's court, where proceedings often take years. So basically, family, listen to this. Get those ears open, my family. Listen, y'all. The feud over the archives and the trove also, it's complicated because the mother who died, it's being said that no will was found, which is very unusual, seeing that Dr. Shabazz was, I'm sure, very knowledgeable about having a will. Why would Dr. Betty Shabazz holding on and being the holder, the trust holder of the legacy of Malcolm X not have a will? But they're saying no will was found. You see how odd this is? This is some talk about corrupt courts. Exactly. I smell a rat. But the Shabazz family's fight has gone on for more than a decade, prolonged by disputes over what to do with potentially valuable relics of the parents. We're talking about Malikah fighting with her sisters, as well as objections to various accountings of the estate's assets. Remember the article that I read where Malikah accused her sisters of using the money and not really I don't know if they said misappropriating the money or misusing their money for personal reasons, but I did talk about that earlier in the stream. A lawyer appointed by Westchester Court to represent one of the daughters, Malikah Shabazz, has accused the two daughters, which is Ilyasa and Malak, assigned to administer the estate, Ilyasa and Malak Shabazz, and their former lawyer, of spending estate money on themselves while allowing property and other estate assets to languish and a tax bill to skyrocket. I read that earlier in another article. Their failure, talking about the two sisters, to account for the money and property in the estate has made it difficult to work out the specifics of any licensing pacts, said Malikah Shabazz's lawyer, Lori Ann Douglas. Dr. Shabazz, quote, worked very hard to try to leave her daughters in a better position, unquote. Miss Douglas, Malikah's lawyer, said, they did not get their inheritance. This is a quote. This estate made money for years. What happened? Close quote. But L. Londell McMillan, the current lawyer for Ilyasa and Malak Shabazz, blamed Miss Douglas, talking about Malikah's lawyer, for prolonging the estate dispute and delaying a publishing deal. Mr. McMillan said she, quote, talking about Malikah's lawyer, has poisoned the well and attempted to prevent the matter from closing and Malikah from communicating and cooperating, close quote.
Hey, sister, hold up for 1 minute. Can you put that on mute for a minute, Nepal?
Of course.
Yes, I'm bringing on right now the sister, a chair. She's a chairwoman of the New Black Panther Party. She's out there in Texas. She's been putting in work. She go by the name of Sister Crystal. And have you ever heard of her?
You told me about the sister. Peace to the sister.
Yeah, she put in that work, man. Peace, sister.
We can't hear her. She's...
To the Shabazz family, this is a great tragedy, and we do want to find out all of the particulars of what actually took place. We are actually live on our radio broadcast now discussing that this is something that has hit all of our hearts very heavily. I myself, particularly, I did get to meet Malcolm X's grandson prior to him being killed, and so this is not only a tragedy with the loss of this beautiful queen, but we find it very suspect that this has happened a couple of days after two of the men who were accused of murdering her father were exonerated, yet no one, the people who were actually responsible, never saw a day in court. So this has opened up a lot of old wounds, and it's also opened up a lot of points of inquiry that we must look into as to what is really going on here, and hold folks accountable. Folks know just a few months ago, the New York police officer on his deathbed made a confession that his department and he himself were a part of the execution of Malikah Shabazz that we know as Malcolm X. So this conspiracy has been playing out. And when I'm saying conspiracy, not as if it's something that hasn't happened, I mean a conspiracy in the part of there are a lot of people who are conspiring, including the U.S. government. Let's not make any mistake about it.
That's right.
And so we must honor and mourn the loss of the beautiful queen, but also we must continue to uphold the legacy of her father, Malcolm X. So, this is a very serious time that we're living in, especially with such racial strife going on in this country, the arrogance of this so-called criminal and justice system. And this is even more of a reason why those of us who are a part of the movement, we need to take this serious. We have people like yourself, myself, who have been on the front line for years, Brother Sadnetta. We've come under attack.
Yes, I know.
We've come under attack, and there's an attempt to not only discredit those who have been sincere, and this is all a part of the state.
Right. Let me ask you, Sister Crystal. All right, I know it's too early right now to find out the funeral arrangements. Have y'all heard anything about the funeral arrangements yet, or no?
No, sir. I will be reaching out to Professor Smalls. He's up there where you are.
Yes.
And if you're not in contact with him,
wow, I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna give him a call tomorrow. It's too late now, but I'm gonna give him a call tomorrow because he's definitely in contact with the family. So I was saying it would be powerful if you could send some soldiers to the funeral. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Cause I'm going. I'm gonna be there. I just gotta find out where it's gonna be, and I'm gonna be there.
We'll be there, brother. We'll be there. We have comrades that are on the ground now in that area.
Yes.
And this hit us all pretty hard. And, this is how the spirit is moving because we do our nightly broadcast like right now. But when I saw your number, I had to answer. And we were just talking about this. Like this was our, so we're connected. You're all the way in New York. I'm all the way down here in Texas. And everybody's on the same frequency. So we're all affected by this. I can say, I know for myself, my first time, one of the catalysts of me coming into my knowledge of self and consciousness is learning, reading the autobiography of Malcolm X and following him. And I know that was the same story of many people that I talk to over these years, how Malcolm has affected all of us. And his legacy still has to carry out. I mean, we're almost in a worse condition as it was 50, 60 years ago with the climate here in this country and across the globe. And so, it is indeed an honor that you gave me a few moments to come on, and I would love to come back on whenever you need me.
All right.
But as far as boots on the ground, we'll be there. We'll definitely be there.
All right, Sister Crystal, I don't want to take up your time. I know you're live on your show. Thank you for picking up. And I'll fill you in tomorrow when I speak to Professor Smalls. I'll give him a call, and I'll give you a call and fill you in on what's going on. If anybody know, Smalls know. Professor knows.
Yes, sir. That's right. See how we all connected.
All right. Peace and black power, sister.
I gotta say this. He called me yesterday about the Maud Arbery case.
Oh,
yesterday morning, before this actually, the news came out. And so, it just, again, this connection that we have spiritually as a people, we have to unite even more so in nowadays in time. You know, the division, those people that are trying to pit us against each other,
right?
We have to cut it out. And those of us who are on the same page, we have to become even more stronger in our bond more than ever. And so rest in power, Queen, and you know, it is a time of mourning, but you know, we must respect that. So thank you guys so much.
All right, peace, Sister Crystal.
Black Power,
Sister Crystal.
Black Power.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Hey, Napah, it's only 9:33 over here. I'm calling Professor Smalls right now. I ain't playing. I'm getting on this. Go ahead and talk to the people. Let them know what's up.
Yeah, well, I was just reading this article, which is very interesting. I don't know how this was resolved. It's very interesting information. The lawyers going back and forth about the estate. No will. There's been a lot of feuding between the sisters. Of course, they loved each other. They were close. They were family. But we need to find out every bit of details surrounding Malikah's life. It would be an injustice for us to ignore any bit of information that is out there about the sisters. So I'm going to finish reading up this article. After Malikah Shabazz requested an accounting, let me go, Macmillan, available. Okay, we were in the middle of, poison the well. So the sisters and their lawyer, Ilyasa and Malak, and their lawyer accused Malikah's lawyer of poisoning the well and prolonging the estate dispute, delaying a publishing deal. They said she was preventing matters from closing and keeping Malikah from communicating and cooperating with her sisters. It is nothing new for siblings to bicker over their parents' estate. That is absolutely true. Or any number of other issues. But the Shabazz family has been faced with unusual challenges. Some of the daughters witnessed their father's assassination in the Audubon Ballroom in Washington Heights more than 4 decades ago. Then came the death of their mother at age 61 after the fire set by Dr. Shabazz's grandson, Malcom Shabazz, who was only 12 at the time. Heartache and tension within the family followed. Quote, my recollection is that there were a lot of problems in this family, to put it mildly, unquote, said Frank W. Strang, a lawyer who represented Malikah Shabazz in 2002. Sprinkled throughout letters and emails filed in surrogate's court are references. Wait, am I sharing, family? I'm sorry. Let me share. Let me screen share this so you can follow along. Even though it's old, it's pretty good information. So, because I've seen it used in recent articles that are talking about the sister's death. So I don't know how this was resolved, if it was resolved at all. It's very interesting. So I'm on the second paragraph. Sprinkled throughout letters and emails filed in surrogate's court are references by the sisters' lawyers to the siblings' tense relationship. So there's some emails that are out that are filed in surrogate court that show, we got to get that information, family. It shows the tense relationship at that time. I don't know if it was resolved. It very well could have been. This was over 10 years ago. So the first public indication of problems with the estate began in 2002 after a collection of Malcolm X items turned up at Butterfield. Butterfield is an auctioning house, okay? It's an auction house in San Francisco. Malikah Shabazz was accused of taking some of her father's unpublished writings, including letters, speeches, and journals, to Florida without permission. She allegedly placed the items in storage but allowed her bill to go unpaid. Her father's work wound up at an auction. Oh my God. Y'all, I feel like crying right now over that. I don't know about you guys. I need a minute on that one. A second. Damn. How sad is that? How sad is that the sister couldn't even afford to pay her storage bill, and it led to her father's priceless, in my opinion, priceless memoirs, his writings, to be auctioned. That hurt. I lost my place after that. Damn. Let me get back to that. All right. Malikah, okay. She placed the items in storage but allowed her bill to go unpaid. Basically, the way they word that, allowed her bill to go unpaid, she irresponsibly couldn't pay the bill. I'm sure she wanted to, but she allowed it to go unpaid. Her father's work wound up at an auction. The estate had to pay more than $300,000 to get the items back. If y'all don't feel like crying over this, I must be a wimp. This is sad. Joseph Fleming, the former lawyer for R.I.S.E and Malikah Shabazz, wrote in a court petition in 2004, he wrote that account. The Schomburg Center, which is in New York in Harlem, where Sonnetter is, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem, paid more than $400,000 in 2003 to borrow the collection for 75 years. And the center is currently the only place where the works can be viewed, family. In a petition attached to the accounting, Mr. Fleming questioned Malikah Shabazz's mental capacity and blamed her for losing potential licensing deals. That petition eventually led to the appointment in 2007 of Miss Douglas as Miss Shabazz's guardian ad litem. That's Latin for something. Ad litem. I don't know what that Latin is for. I should know what that means. Like stand-in, we got to find out what that means. Someone who, oh, here it is. Context clue. Someone who represents a person's interest in court, yes, but may not make decisions on the person's behalf. 2 years later, Miss Douglas, the lawyer, issued a 30-page report accusing R.I.S.E and Malikah Shabazz of misappropriating assets, citing examples like the women's advancing shares of their inheritance to their sisters and prepaying themselves commissions even when their lawyers advised against it. This is a whole mess with these lawyers involved. It really is heartbreaking because I know these sisters, all that they went through, losing their parents, being a close family. It just is so painful to read this stuff. The estate's tax bill, meanwhile, more than doubled over the years because of penalties and interest. At more than $2 million, the bill is now greater than the tangible value of the estate, according to an accounting filed last year by Mr. McMillan. I would argue that is not true. I would argue that Malcolm X's estate is worth more than $2 million, but who am I? That's just sentimental, what I'm doing. R.I.S.E and Malikah Shabazz are not guilty of anything other than, quote, other than perhaps giving the lawyers and accountants too much authority. I agree with that. These lawyers and these other people involved, it like placed even a bigger wedge between the sisters. And it really is very, if this hasn't been resolved, if this wasn't resolved up to the time of the sister's death, I'm wondering, you know, what was going on. I am in no way implicating her family, by the way. in any type of foul play. But there's so many people with their hands in the pot pushing these family members to go this way and that way. So this looks very peculiar to me, and something that we need to keep our eyes on and see if it was resolved. Under circumstances when their pain and suffering was at an all-time high, yes. And it stays at an all-time high from what we see. Despite their disagreements over what to do with the estate, all the sisters other than Malikah Shabazz are now on the same page, said Mr. McMillan. Interesting. Let me check the family, see what y'all think about that. Anybody want to comment on any of this information? Because that's for me, very pertinent information. Like, this, Malikah was the only one not on board, and they all had to sign off. What happened with this? This is a 10-year-old article. I want to know if it was resolved. Let's go to the internet. Maybe it was. I don't know, but this is very curious. Yeah, I'm doing my thinking emoji too in my head. Like, it's crazy. Let's see. So let's see if it was resolved. I'm still screen sharing. I might as well finish the article. Or actually, it's a blog yet. Okay, so let me finish it up. Last paragraph. Mr. McMillan did not make Ilyasa and Malikah Shabazz available for comment. Malikah Shabazz could not be reached for comment. But in a letter to the judge last year, we're going to hear from her, y'all. I'm excited. She wrote that she had been subject to, quote, overly dramatic bullying. Marinate on that, family. Marinate on that. Okay? Meditate, marinate. All right? Okay. To compel her to agree to a settlement, suggesting that, quote, this is from her, every bit of everything has been taken from my daughter and I. Close quote. But she added she did not, quote, plan to at any time participate in any so-called settlements or negotiations, close quote. This is a powerful article right here, in my opinion. One example of how difficult negotiations have become was the inability of the administrators, Ilyasa and Malikah Shabazz, to produce an uncontested accounting of the estate's assets. After Malikah Shabazz requested an accounting nearly a decade ago, before this article, it took 2 years and a contempt order from Judge Anthony A. Scarpino Jr. Just a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanna we should be opening up the lines if anybody wanna call in and voice their opinion. I just spoke to Professor James Smalls, and he said he have just about the same information that I have. He don't have nothing, but he did say he will be calling the family tomorrow. So we'll get some information from him tomorrow. Okay, so I'll be giving Professor James Smalls a call tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on, what's going to be happening.
Awesome.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So we should be opening up the phone lines to see if anybody else would have any questions. If y'all have any questions, you can come on up, cut your camera on.
Number.
Say that again.
Sorry, King. I mean, I was going to say to the people, the family, can you drop the phone number, Sonetter's number? Because I can't.
Yeah. Yo, Max Bird, put my number up in there. You know the number. 347-467-0019. Let's get these callers in if y'all have something. All right, peace and black power. Unc, what's happening, man? What's on your mind, man?
I have a question for you, but I ain't trying to ask that question live.
All right. Hold on, man. Hold on. Go ahead. Take over, Nepal.
Definitely. So, family, you obviously, when you call in, it's going to be a minute because Sonetter's taking a call from Unc, but that information in that article, I don't know about you guys, but that was very eye-opening. It leads us closer to the mind state of the sister. I don't know. As I said, the article is 10 years old, but if that still was going on, family, we can see where the sister stood, because she said she will never, in the article, never do any negotiations. Let me get back to reading the rest of it. So it took 2 years in contempt order from Judge Anthony A. Scarpino Jr. of Surrogates Court to get the administrators, which is the two sisters, Ilyasa and Malak, to produce one, which has since been revised at least 4 times. Excuse me. Ms. Douglas, which is Malikah's lawyer, said that because the administrators did not perform an inventory of Dr. Betty Shabazz's belongings shortly after her death, the administrators being those two sisters, the two sisters of, Ilyasa and Malak, it would be impossible to determine if anything had gone missing since then. While many items were destroyed in the fire that killed Dr. Shabazz, that's saddening. Mr. McMillan's, of course, the worst part is this, that the ancestor, Dr. Betty Shabazz, rest in power, deceased and suffered and deceased. It's just all sad. Anyway, the property in her estate had been inventoried. He suggests that there was material that would provide new glimpses into Dr. Shabazz's life, but would not confirm that if that included a manuscript of an autobiography that Dr. Betty Shabazz had told a friend, Leroy Wilson Jr., a trust and estate lawyer she was working on. The overall inventory will be included in a final accounting in the coming months, as will proof of every transaction over the life of the estate, Mr. McMillan said. That's the representation of the other two sisters. The lawyer said he hoped that that would be enough to persuade opponents to close out the estate and to move forward with publishing deals. Quote, we'll be able to have these very important works curated and presented to the public worldwide, close quote, Mr. McMillan said, quote, with the dignity and integrity that Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz deserve, close quote. So this is saddening. This was a great article. It's good information. I dropped the link. Obviously, the sisters were having internal feud, a family feud over the estate of their mother and father. Very sad. Does anybody have any comments on that article or questions? To me, that was a lot. That was deep. We got to find out if that still was going, if it was ever resolved. Because like I said, if it wasn't resolved, that's crazy. You know? Let's read the, excuse me, Let's read the article of the, not the article, the letter of the police officer on his deathbed. I have that here, where he implicates himself and the NYPD and the FBI in the assassination of Malcolm X. Let me screen share again. So, all right, let me get the screen share. All righty. Okay. This is, you see the picture of Dr. Betty Shabazz, the late Dr. Betty Shabazz, holding Malikah and Malak. It's very sad. All right. So let's see here. I should drop the link to this particular this article too. So I just want to read this letter. There's a picture of the sister. Excuse me. Very beautiful. Of course, they want to talk about how she had brushes with the law. So did her father, okay? And so do many people of our people. I mean, we know she had many brushes with the law. But nothing, no heinous crimes. I mean, yes, crime is wrong. Stealing is wrong. And, alleged animal abuse is wrong. But we have to look at what this sister went through. What she and her sisters and her mother and her family went through. Rest in power to her. So here's the article, okay. Malcolm X's family released late cop's deathbed letter that claimed that the FBI and the police, NYPD, conspired in the civil rights leader's 1965 assassination. Let's get to it. Exactly 56 years since Malcolm X was assassinated in New York City, 56 being 11, interesting that that's the same age that his daughter was found yesterday deceased. Excuse me. Wow, I just put that together, duh. Because they were born 7 months after. So exactly 56 years. So recently this letter comes out. Recently these men are exonerated. And then recently, as of yesterday, Malikah, the only one who was fighting against everything. I'm not saying the family did it, but she's found deceased. Okay. Let's just keep that in mind. Exactly 56 years since Malcolm X was assassinated in New York City, lawyers and family members of the late civil rights leader released a letter that they claim shows that NYPD and the FBI conspired in his murder. The note said to be a deathbed confession made by Ray Wood, a former undercover NYPD officer, was unveiled in a press conference by civil rights attorney Ben Crump in February. Wood claimed in his letter that the FBI and the NYPD conspired to kill Malcolm X. Okay, conspired to kill Malcolm X, who was gunned down on February 21st, 1965, inside of Harlem's Autobahn Ballroom during a rally. He alleged that he was pressured by NYPD, by the supervisors, to lure 2 members of Malcolm's security detail into committing crimes that resulted in their arrest just days before the shooting. Those arrests kept the 2 men from managing door security at the ballroom on the night Malcolm was killed. According to the letter, quote, "My job was to infiltrate civil rights organizations throughout New York City. to find evidence of criminal activity so the FBI could discredit and arrest its leaders, close quote, Wood stated in the letter. So obviously it was a black man. See, folks, always using us against each other. Under the direction of my handler, this is more of his statement. Quote, under the direction of my handlers, I was told to encourage leaders and members of civil rights groups to commit felonious acts. Close quote. Here is the letter, family. January 25th, 2011, to whom it may concern. I, Raymond A. Wood, being of sound mind and body, wish to confess the following. I was a black New York City undercover police officer from April 1964 through May of 1971. I participated in actions that in hindsight were deplorable and detrimental to the advancement of my own black people. My actions on behalf of the New York City Police Department were done under duress and fear that if I did not follow the orders of my handlers, I could face detrimental consequences. Presently, I am aging with failing health. Recently, I've learned of the death of Mr. Thomas Johnson and are deeply concerned that with my death, his family will not be able to exonerate him after being wrongly convicted in the killing of Malcolm X. Excuse me, family. The facts are as follows. April 17, 1964, I was hired by the New York City Police Department. Without training, I was immediately assigned to the BOSSI investigation unit. My job was to infiltrate civil rights organizations throughout New York City to find evidence of criminal activity so the FBI could discredit and arrest its leaders. After witnessing repeated brutality at the hands of my coworkers, the NYPD police, I tried to resign. Instead, I was threatened with arrest by pinning marijuana and alcohol trafficking charges on me if I did not follow through with the assignments. Under the direction of my handlers, I was told to encourage leaders and members of the civil rights groups to commit felonious acts. The Statue of Liberty bombing idea was created by my supervisor/handler. Using surveillance, the agency learned that Bo and Syed were key players in Malcolm X's crowd control security detail. It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious federal crime so that they could be arrested by the FBI and kept away from managing Malcolm X's Audubon Ballroom door security on February 21st, 1965, the day of his assassination, family. On February 16th, 1965, the Statue of Liberty plot was carried out and the men were arrested just days before the assassination of Malcolm. At that time, I was not aware that Malcolm X was a target. On February 21st, 1965, I was ordered to be at the Audubon Ballroom, where I was identified by witnesses while leaving the scene. Thomas Johnson was later arrested and wrongfully convicted to protect my cover and the secrets of the FBI and the NYPD. The same people that you saw putting a sticker on Malikah Shabazz's door, the same people who said, "How are you guys doing?" to the so-called Daily Mail reporters who were recording them. What police officers do that? The same NYPD who works with the coroner, who came and left their filthy gloves in the sister's planter and in the front of her yard after carrying her body out of the house, that NYPD family. I have placed my full confession into the care of my cousin Reginald Wood Jr. I've requested that this information be held until after I have passed away. It is my hope that this information is received with the understanding that I have carried these secrets with a heavy heart and remorsefully regret my participation in this matter. Signed, Raymond A. Wood. Powerful. Powerful, powerful. Sonetta, did you want to say something? You're muted.
I'm just here to support you and listen to what's going on. I mean, you're doing great.
So did you see
just called me with some good news, so you know that's why I had to cut out and.
Can you announce it?
No, not until tomorrow.
Okay, great. Sounds beautiful. So anybody want to call in really quickly? This live is about to come in. What, King?
Yeah, the live is about to come to an end. If y'all don't have nothing else y'all would like to contribute to it, then we can move forward.
Sonetta, did you hear that letter?
No, I was taking care of something.
I was just reading the letter of the brother who admitted that he was in conspiracy with the FBI and the NYPD to assassinate Malcolm X.
Damn.
And then the lawyer, that famous lawyer that's dealing with all those civil rights cases, he came forward and presented the letter for the family. We found out about Malikah being opposition to her sisters as far as the estate and what to do with it. I don't know if they resolved that. We have more questions, family, but I think we made some ground, because it's, like I said, in honor of the sister, we can't just let these local mainstream, not local, strike that, these mainstream news outlets tell us that this isn't a suspicious death. This is a family member, and we're going to find out. We're going to support the family, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, of what happened to the sister.
All right, but there's no call, so nobody want to talk about it.
Okay, nobody want to call in. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just say peace and black power. Thank y'all for tuning in. Napah, you got something else to say? You want to keep going? I'm gonna exit out.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out too. I left my closet open.
All
Peace,
right.
family. Peace and black power.
Peace and black power. We out, y'all.